Hey guys, I'm Brufio. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can incorporate hardware into your software. Are you ready? Let's go. Before we start, go to brufiomusic.com/gift. You will get amazing free stuff, drum samples, Cubase templates, recording guides. So check that out. It's for absolutely free. Maybe you've been working all in the box and wondering how to bring your gear like compressors or EQs or reverbs into your DAW setup, just like a plugin. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today, step by step. Once with a stereo bus compressor to compress the whole mix or to use it as a plugin. Then we do a hardware vocal chain and record with that. And this principle applies, of course, with everything that you may have in your studio, reverbs and delays and all that good stuff. Okay, before we get into Cubase, let's quickly cover how to physically connect your outboard gear to your interface. You need cables, of course, and the most common ones are something like this, a TRS cable or an XLR cable, which you know from your microphones and stuff like that. So you have one side male or female, depending on the input. So all external gear works the same in principle. It's all about ins and outs. Inputs, outputs. And I never understood it when I started, but once someone explained it to me with just ins and outs, then it made sense. Some output gear has more than ins and outs, maybe sidechain or a through input, stuff like that, but for now we just go for ins and outs. So we need to go from the output of the interface into the input of our hardware. And from the output of our hardware back into the input of our interface. So we create this audio loop. In this example, I'm going to use my Warm Audio bus compressor. It's stereo, so you need two signals, two cables, because it's left and right, like your output of your DAW, okay? If it's a mono, like the vocal chain later on, we just use one cable straight in the middle of the signal. In my case, we need the Apollo out 7 and 8. I just use 7 and 8. You can also use 3 and 4, 5 and 6, doesn't matter. So I use 7 and 8 on the Apollo, and that goes into the input of my bus compressor, okay? Then from the bus compressor outputs back into the Apollo, and I use inputs 3 and 4, okay? It's that simple. I use balance cables or TRS, as you said, depends. Here it would only be TRS cables. But like the compressor and stuff like that, they have XLR. Yeah, XLR cables are very quiet with noise and really stable, so I love them. Now we dive into Cubase and I will set this chain up, okay? All right, let's go into Cubase. Okay guys, this is the setup now. We have to go to Studio, Audio Connections, and now we have our inputs, outputs, and external effects. Depending on your DAW, this is a little bit different, but still the same thing should apply. We have here on the right my Universal Audio software, which shows you exactly my in and outputs. So we have analog 3 and 4, so inputs 3 and 4, which feeds the compressor back into my Apollo. And we have our DAW out, so that's just my Cubase output. Then in the audio connections, we have the inputs. So here we also have to create a bus. I already did that. I called it in bus comp 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 would be the inputs and outputs. The inputs 3 and 4. Then on the outputs, I will create also a bus with 7 and 8, which go out. First though, we want to use it as a plugin. That's why we use external effects in this case. I created an external effect, called it bus comp plugin hardware. And now we have a send and return. And the send, we send out of the interface 7 and 8 into the inputs 3 and 4, which they are called now machine, but because my machine was plugged in there, but this is just 3 and 4. Okay, so this is the same thing that we had in our mind when we connected it. So if I go here now and have my Phantom, something I just played, you can listen to it now. Okay, that's the piano I recorded. And now what we want to do is, because we added external effect, we can just simply search for hardware maybe. Yeah. And here we see now our hardware. So that's amazing. And now this window opens up. We can measure the delay. Okay, it's 0 milliseconds right now. So this is what it would look like. If I engage it now, the signal passes through output 7 and 8, comes back in 3 and 4, and that's what we hear. And you can see it here in the Universal Audio Apollo interface. We would see here 3 and 4 has some movement. Now you could see that the compressor already was working. I overdid it a little bit so you can get a better understanding. But now we could say, let's send less signal so it doesn't clip, and try it again. Cool. So we use it as a plugin. What's very important now is, because it is hardware and it has to go through the audio signal path in real time, we cannot just bounce it and render it in place offline, or just bounce the whole track offline. We have to do it in real time because it always has to go through the analog signal path in order to get recorded. And that's why we now change it a little bit. Bypass and audio connection studio back. So now let's just remove the bus. So we go to inputs. I have this bus here. So for the inputs, we need, of course, 3 and 4. Continue, because now the plugin external effects will now be disabled. And we have the outputs 7 and 8. All right, so now we created the same signal path as with the plugin, but we send it now really out and back in, so we can have the whole track playing through it. So let's go to output. I already did it here, and you see now that we have this output bus compressor. Let's enable the audio track, because now we have to create an audio track that has the input 3 and 4. And we send now to the virtual out, okay? Signal again, I really want that you understand it, because it was very hard for me when I was a beginner. So now we send all these tracks out, 7 and 8. They go out and into the compressor, from the compressor back into 3 and 4, which is this track here. And this gets sent to my virtual output. So let's see if we record now what comes up. You see the compressors working. Could engage the transformers in the compressor back. Now we created the track. You see that we recorded it through the compressor. That's why it gets louder here, because I adjusted the makeup gain. And now we could, if that makes us happy, re-record it so everything has the same setting. And then we could export only this track and have it offline bouncing without real time. Otherwise, we would have to bounce it now in real time, so everything gets recorded and printed in real time. I hope everything is clear now. Now we put in the vocal chain, so that's also cool. Let's check that out. Vocal chain, tack, tack. What we do now is connect a microphone simply with XLR. The microphone has to go through the preamp first, so we get a nice signal. Connected to the preamp. Okay, so we have the microphone now, and as you see with everything I did here as well, I labeled everything here. So first is the preamp. Second, we go through the EQ. We bypass it for now, so we only get the tube signal, and then we go into the warm audio. And the output of the warm audio then goes into input 2 of the Apollo Twin, which you can see. Mic check, mic check. You can hear clearly now my voice through the SM58, and I could now get some more compression, more. Now you see there's a lot of compression, or we dial it back to 3 to 5 dB of gain reduction. Woo! Okay, so very nice signal. Now we would just come in, create a new track, audio track, that is Apollo Twin 2 input. We call it Vox Brufio. And now if I engage the monitoring and I mute here the signal, simple as that. Now we could record through our external mic pre, going through the EQ, the compressor, and out into the interface. And it will sound a lot better than your typical normal interface. Alright guys, so that's how you incorporate external hardware into your DAW workflow. I love it. It's really amazing. Combining, for example, the U87 with the Universal Audio 6176 that I have. It's just amazing. It was always, as I said, something mystical I did not really understand when I started out. But this you can use now to apply it to everything else. Whether it's compressing individual tracks, running your whole mix through some sweet analog gear, or crafting an old school vocal chain. The setup lets you get the best of both worlds. And the flexibility of the DAW with the tone of real hardware, very good. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment what's your vocal chain. Would really interest me. And leave a comment if you got any questions or want me to break down any other part of my setup. Go to brufiomusic.com/gift. As I said, free drum samples that I use from day to day, Cubase mix template, recording guide, so much cool stuff for you. And we see us in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.